What's up and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Eddie and I am still addicted to Marvel Snap, and it's time to look at another character set of variants and rank them from worst to best. As always, we're picking something from the comments section. As you can see right over here, boop, we got requested to look at Hobgoblin. So let's jump right into it, everybody. There he is, Hobgoblin himself. Hobgoblin is a 5 energy, -8 power card, but his on reveal is that your opponent gains control of this card. So Hobgoblin is actually a card that jumps over to the opposite side of the board, and then your opponent gets the -8 power on their side. I used to love playing this card when I was early into pool 2, I think is when you get him. Definitely one of the earlier cards that you can unlock. I'm pretty sure he's series 2, pool 2, however you guys want to call it. Lots of fun, very toxic card, very frustrating card. And then I kind of felt like he stopped being a part of the meta. We didn't really see him for a little while. And then recently, once again, since Galactus, I'd say, is starting to take over once again, Hobgoblin is back, baby, because he is another one of Galactus's best friends in that meta deck. Very fun card. I don't have Galactus, but the amount of time I get sent Hobgoblin is really freaking annoying. But the day I do get Galactus, I will be playing with Hobgoblin once again. So that's not what we're here for. As always, we're here to look at his variants, and then we're going to rank our all the variants from our least favorite to our favorite. I can't even speak anymore. As always, if you guys want me to pick a character of your choice for the next video, make sure to comment down below one character that you guys like to see. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe for more variant talk. So let's jump right into it. We can scroll down over here. You guys can see we've got the Pixel one. Oh no. Max is there, Dan Hip, Julio Rincione, I don't know how to say the name. Nicola's back, and another unknown one here from 3099. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 of them. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 6. All right. Let's jump right into it. The first one is the Pixel one. I think we can all agree Pixel is definitely some of the worst ones in the game. This is one of those it's so bad it's good one. Like, look at his face, man. That's awful, but it makes it hilarious. I'm not a huge fan of all the Pixels overall. There are definitely some hits and a lot of miss. This is one of those really bad, but it's still pretty good. Would I buy this? Absolutely not. Would I be upset if I got this? That's where I'm having a hard time. I think I'd be upset because I wouldn't use it, but it is really funny. It's a really funny card, so I don't think I'd be upset if I unlocked this, but I would never spend... it's not even in the game yet, so we don't actually know. Hopefully it's 700 gold. I would never spend money on this card. Next up, we got Nicola. Nicola over here. I'm never going to try the last name. I'm sorry. I wish I could say it, but I have no idea. Very, very, very cool variant. This is one of the ones that I've been always trying to grab. I don't remember. It's 700. Yeah, so fantastic price for a fantastic card. The background of this one is amazing, too. Lots of explosions happening as he's throwing the bombs and everything. I don't have anything negative to say about this card. I'd be super happy to unlock this, and I would spend 700 gold on this. Very, very, very good variant, in my opinion. Next up, we got Max. Now, here's the thing. You guys know this. We just did a video about Max about a month ago at this point. I love Max Creek's variants, and I think that this is another good artistic card. I like the way he drew Max, the way Max drew Hobgoblin. Not a fan of the very bland background. As you guys can see, nothing happening in the background. It is very much just a white background. I kind of wish it had a little bit more exciting things happening in there. As you guys can see, this one has some stuff going on, and even the Pixel one has at least like buildings in the background. I don't hate this one. I think it's great. I love the art style of Max, and I really like the way he drew out the Hobgoblin himself. I just kind of wish there was a bit more going on in the background. This would look fantastic with a gold border or a gold background as well, like if you split it enough times, because obviously you're not missing out on the background. But I just kind of wish that it already had something on the base card. We got 3 more to go to over here. Dan Hip, let's go. Dan Hip over here. This is one of the first ones that I remember seeing from Dan Hip. And at first when I saw this, I wasn't a huge fan. But over time, I like this one. I still think I prefer Max's art style over this one. And this one has just a little bit more of the background stuff going on. But it's just like a purple background instead of a bland background. But again, not much going on. But I do like it. It fits really well with everything else Dan Hip does. So once again, it's very nice to see that these artists are really getting... their vibe into the game, and you could really tell almost instantly when a card is drawn by a certain artist. I love that. And this card really, really stands out almost instantly as this is Dan Hip, and I love it. The card itself is pretty cool. Love everything about it. Just, again, the background I wish had a little bit more going on. And how much is this one? Let's confirm. So far, okay, so max is 1,200 gold. So that does affect my opinion a little bit because it's a bit expensive for a bland background, but this 700 gold one is a good one. Next up, we got, I really hope, is it Julio or Julio Rincione? I really hope I'm saying that properly. This card is so cool. So this one, as you can see, I do like it a little bit more for a couple reasons here. So I'm not a fan of the realistic face and drawing of the character himself. So I'm not a huge fan of what he looks like himself, Hobgoblin. But I love everything else around it. Love how much the orange pops. Love how much background we have here. The little glider that he's on, having like the transparent style on it or whatever. I think it looks like it's transparent so you can see through. Very, very cool. I think this one is kind of the opposite of everything else, where I love everything around the character, but I'm not a huge fan of Hobgoblin himself in this drawing. And we got one more to look at right over here. This is the 3099. This one is, it says unknown, so I don't even think it's in the game yet. This is by Ryan Kennard and LaRusso Giovanni. Very cool. I'm not a huge fan of 3099 in general, but for some reason, it works really well for me for Hobgoblin. I think it's because it reminds me of Green Goblin from like the OG Spider-Man movies, where it's like, it's a suit, right? It's like a metal suit. Like, obviously, he's not Green Goblin, but I think that the suit's mechanic on this works really well for him. Pretty cool. Background has a little bit more going on over here. There has that green instead of, so it's a lot of different colors there. And you can still see little buildings. Let me show you guys. Yeah, there's buildings in the background there. Awesome suit. Yeah, I think the more I look at this one, the more I like it. Obviously, this is my opinion's gonna change on this one based on how much it costs, if it's an ultimate 1,200 or 700. But I would totally purchase this one, and I would be very happy to unlock this one. So I kind of feel like it's one of the top tiers for all the variants. So let's go back over here. Let's look at all the ones we have over here. We got the Pixel, we've got Nicola, we got Max, we got Dan Hip, we got Julio or Julio, and the 3099. So we got 6 variants. We got to now decide how are we going to rank them. This is one of the shorter videos I've done so far because I feel like they're pretty obvious in the order that I want to place them. I think we're going to put that. Whoa, sorry. We're going to put that one there, that one there. That one's going to go here. This one's going to go there, and that one's there, and that one's there. Okay, there we go. We had them all. So before we jump into it, as always, make sure, comment down below a next character that I should do, and what is your ranking? How would you rank this one? Which one's your favorite, your least favorite of all the Hobgoblin variants? And let's jump right into it. My least favorite, to nobody's surprise, is the Pixel one. Now, again, I don't hate it. I think it's surprisingly funny, but I don't think it's as good as any of the other ones. The Pixels are always going to mostly be at the bottom unless it's a really, really bad variant. But in this case, Hobgoblin has a lot of good ones. So this Pixel one is at the bottom, in my opinion. Number 5, I'm going to put Julio Rincione. Again, really like this one. I don't have anything very negative to say, except, once again, I'm just not a fan of what the drawing of Hobgoblin himself is. I like the background and everything, but obviously the focus isn't just the background, it is the card itself. And I just kind of wish that this card, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the way the drawing is done. I think this is more of a, Julio Rincione, his other cards, if I remember correctly, are also like this, where he has a more realistic approach. And just generally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't think it's bad, it's just not my cup of tea. My number 4 is going to be the Dan Hip one. Very good one. So from here onwards, I think they're all fantastic. I really like Dan Hip here. His art, sorry. Fantastic card. Hobgoblin looks great. There's really nothing else to say except it's a great card. The background being just a little bland obviously drops a little bit. Whereas you're going to see here, my number 3 is Max, which I think this one would be my number 1, but the background is what's taking it away. Talked about it in my Max Week video month ago, so make sure to go back and check that out. That I just think his art style in general is my favorite in the game. So this one is one of my favorite drawings of a character. I just wish there was more in the background happening, and this would push it all the way to number 1. So once again, my number 4 and my number 3, the background is the one that's just kind of dropping it a little bit, but the character art themselves, the way that Dan Hip and Max have drawn their characters, are 10 out of 10 in my opinion. My number 2, surprisingly for me, is the 3099. Fantastic card. This is actually the first time I see it, and almost instantly, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this is probably going to start climbing to my number 1. I just don't want to put it number 1 because I don't know what it's going to be. If it ends up being a ultimate variant, I don't think it's worth the ultimate level of it, like the 5,000 tokens version, but 700 or 1,200 I think is a fantastic level for this one. Awesome card. Love the futuristic metal suit over here. Even the glider looks sick as hell, and the background is very, very cool. And once again, I talked about this in the past. I like when they take a card and completely flip and change what the style is, and this one obviously is very different from all the rest. That's why it's my number 2. It would be number 1, but again, it being unknown and not knowing how much it's actually going to cost does drop it a little bit. And my number 1 is Nicola right over here. Awesome card. This is, I've said it almost from the get-go. Fantastic drawing style, art style of the character, and the background has a lot of really epic stuff going on. And I've seen this card when it comes to being split and being 3D and all the effects, and it looks fantastic no matter what you do with it. The gold border on it, oh man, it is fantastic. And the most important thing, it is only 700 gold, which I know is still 700 is a lot, but compared to 700, 1,200, and ultimate tokens, it is the cheapest version of it, and you can get it in boxes. You can get it for much cheaper, so this is just a perfect variant, in my opinion, for Hobgoblin. Best art style, best background, best price. And so this is my number 1, and that's the list. So as always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below everything I said. Favorite variant, least favorite variant, and what character should we do next? All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye bye.